off our network. And, in the last year with them doing all the improvements out here with the new power poles and things like that, but when things are, as far as when the power is working, it works fine. When it works great. Same with our internet. Simon's done a really, really good job of district-wide, in my opinion, of making sure that we're connected the way that we need to be and that kids can benefit from. So, yeah. Okay. All right. The next room over here is our multi-purpose room. You'll see that for sure. Is it not something? I mean, they come do some of the services, but it's different. It's not what you yeah. But I don't know. Simon said. You don't feel like it's but like, everybody else. We don't so this room services as our band room on 2 mornings a week, as our as our music ancillary classroom 1 day a week. It also is our Healthy Choices classroom. Mrs. Edison comes out and teaches an ancillary class out here. We use this when we're doing different craft things that are happening, or if we're on our Science Fridays, we have the tables that we set up, and we can pull things together pretty quickly out here, down here for experiments or stations that are going on for science. Again, the windows, you can really see and notice. I mean, if you even feeling, it's incredible the amount of cold air that comes in through the windows. Notice that our propane tanks are back there. Where that's the kind of heat that we have at Canyon is propane heat. Water, did we talk about our water stuff?
No, I had it on my list.
You want to talk about our water stuff?
Yeah, just on point. So I probably everybody may know, but so we're on a well out here. We don't have a public water system in the Canyon area. So we have a well. Actually, we don't own the well anymore. We're using, made an agreement with Terry Severston to use his well, and so we have a long-term agreement with Terry to utilize the water produced from his well for the building. As long as it's a school, we can continue to do that. And so that's another issue with the fire suppression, is that even if we could afford to put sprinkler systems in, we couldn't supply any water to them. We just don't have that capacity. So it's the fire danger in this building is probably more so than most, just because of those issues. And then there aren't any hydrants in the area, and response time from the fire department would be from Rose Lake.
Smoke detectors?
No.
No phone cells, no heat detectors, no pull stations?
Just pull stations. That's all it is, just a pull station. Which then kind of adds to the need for the emergency exits. We get a lot of press on the active shooter kind of a thing, but it could be just if there was any issue in the hallway, you're not getting out of the classrooms, and fire could be one of those.
That was one of the reasons, there was a little remodel done at the entry point here into the building, because where the building sits out here, it's in a rural area, so response time, if something were to happen, and you can't ever think that would never happen, because look what's going on across this nation. And so we thought, well, we need to do something. That was one of the safety issues there, safety and security for kids and the staff. And in doing so, I think that's helped that anyway, that entry point there, where you have to be buzzed in. And of course, it's accessible now with wheelchair, but we're in that whole situation with all our schools. The only other school, middle school, is in a situation they're good in their entry points also, but Pinehurst and the high school, to do those will just, and I mentioned that last week, you're looking probably at $150,000 to remodel the fronts of those two schools. Combined, those aren't real hardcore numbers, but, so, it adds that safety factor, because the legislature now is beginning, we receive very little money of any type for maintenance. But they realize now that the safety and security factor in all school districts, they want to try and address that. And there will be a little bit of money probably available, but not much. I mean, when you have 115 school districts,
Right.
you could say, well, we're gonna put 5 million out there for well, it's a drop in the bucket. I mean, it really is. But they know the importance of that, and that's one of the first things, if we could pass the bond, that would be one of the first things we would address were those safety and security issues. Because we're supposed to provide a safe and secure environment for our kids and staff as much as possible, as much as we can do, and of course, money's one of the big things, and it always has been in Idaho, because the legislature has never funded education or the things around it according to what their constitution says. They know that, but whether they'll step up to that, because there's a lot of money being spent on education now. So, like I said before we started this tour, this is really important. And once we go through all the schools and we come back and we can sit down and we can see all our needs, then when we go out for this bond, we will have a meeting, some forums, and hopefully the public will come in and we'll be able to sit down and talk with the public about this. And we need to put that out there, and then, of course, it's up to the public whether they'll support this or not. And I know that's a tough thing, it really is, because we don't have a lot of money. It's that base, we don't have a big tax base, like Kootenai County over there does. But, we're very thankful that our patrons will support our supplemental levies. And that's another thing we'll have to clarify and make people understand, that what we're asking for, we'll ask for a bond that's completely different than our supplemental levies. Supplemental levies are just strictly for operational needs. And that money, right now is a little over 2.6 million per year. We do 2 year, so we're looking at $5.2 or $3 million. And all that just makes sure that we can operate our district and run our district and provide the things that our patrons wanted. They're looking now at, they're gonna talk a little bit about all-day kindergarten, funding that maybe. They don't fund that now, they fund half-day kindergarten. So for years, our district, through our levies, has funded that. And for us, it's about $120,000. So, and we've been doing this for years because that's what patrons in our district wanted. So it's just, most things boil down to money. So you'll walk through, you'll see this school.